Nice. Are you from In the Pocket?
No, I heard.
You heard about it. Oh, okay, cool. Because I'm stealing their shit, and I don't. Okay, whatever. The next gen tech expert. Who are they? Whatever. Just a little context. Who am I? My name is Bram. I'm calling myself next gen designer simply because I'm using fancy new tools, and I have a hard time putting something before the word designer. Am I a product designer? Am I a UX designer? A UI designer? I don't know. I'm doing everything, and then I thought it was smart to call myself the next gen designer. But I'm active in the digital product realm. Everything with digital products interests me, and I've been working with mostly banks. There's some ex-colleagues here from Belfius, but I've worked with KBC and Belfius as a design lead, and now I also been a lecturer, blah blah blah. But I also have an out-of-hand hobby, whatever thingy, as a digital artist. So I'm doing a lot of weird stuff, and it makes sense now, and I hope the new shift, what's coming with the next gen designer, I think we're shifting away from these fixed roles, the UX designer, the UI designer, the product designer, whatever, and I already noticed the first steps working with clients or big customers. We are moving away from the UX UI. They are not publishing open vacancies today with, I'm looking for a UX designer. No, we're looking for an expert chatbot UX UI writer, chapter lead, whatever. These are not the traditional roles anymore. And for me personally, it's very interesting because we are more focusing on our tools and our skill set rather than fancy or weird titles. And that's very interesting or whatever. We're going to talk about that. A small disclaimer, I'm just a next-gen designer. I don't want to be an AI guru or whatever. A little of context. Last week I texted someone from UX Beer, hey, is there an event next week? And before I knew, I was very impulsive and said, hey, I can help with a speaking gig. I can talk about AI because I'm doing this at the job where I work, where I consult at POW. I'm sharing my insights there tomorrow, actually. And this is like, okay, a test where I will just share what I'm working on or what I find interesting. So I'm really going to focus on my experience with the fancy new tools, and I will share just random ideas how I see things shifting, and hopefully it's interesting. Also very important, it wasn't meant, this presentation, to share with other people. It should be an internal thing here for POW, sharing my insights. So I will skip stuff when I notice like, this is not interesting, or if we don't have the time, because we only have 20 minutes, so I have to move. So let's start. Just my idea, what the fuck is a next-gen tech expert? My whole LinkedIn is filled with this cool claim, what are next-gen tech experts? I really like the sound of it, the tech expert. What the fuck is that? I don't know. So I asked myself that question. What are the tools they're using, these next-gen techs, because I want to be one of these cool guys. What are the tools they're using? What's the possible impact? I asked myself, well, what does this mean for my design process, all these new tools or these new experts that I will come across in the field and have to battle with, perhaps? What are they doing? What's the impact? What does this mean for my team? I'm used as a UX, or I was a design lead most of the time, but my design lead, I was leading UX UI designers. Does that mean that in the future the teams are all multidisciplinary? They're not just UX UI design, but I'm also working with marketeers or CEOs or whatever, fancy smart guys, strategic people. What does that mean also for my soft skills? Like, oh shit, I need to change my language more often, or just what does that mean? I ask that question, and then what would I do if I ran an agency? That's more the internal stuff because I'm working with agencies and I want to share insight like, hey, if I was an agency today with what I know, what's happening, I give advice, but I will probably skip that because that's the valuable stuff. So anyway, so let's start. What are these next-gen tech experts? I tried an anatomy, or I tried to look at like, okay, what are these people? I think we are all tech experts, or we have the potential to become one of these guys, because we all have evolving skills and we have a very creative mindset. We all do, I think, in this room. And we're really going to focus on adaptable skills. We are very adaptable. We are used to change from Adobe XD to Sketch to Figma, new design systems. Every 6 months there's a new update. So we already are used to change. It's in our nature. We are already a little bit okay with the weird job titles we get as a designer. It's already changed, so we're not really married with our job titles, so that's cool. But what I really notice is that all these tech experts, they are very T-shaped profiles. They nerd in one specific skill super hard. Is it the design system or whatever? It's something that you're really good at. But with all those new multidisciplinary teams, you already notice like every expert in the field, they have experience or they have been in touch with a UX designer, a service designer, with a fancy product designer, the cool developers. We all meet these cool experts and you learn from them as we go. So we are automatically, very quickly, this T-shaped profile. And I think it's very important for yourself moving forward, like, okay, what's my sharp point or what is my expertise, what is my super valuable skill, because the rest is very interesting and will help me in these new teams. But really, if that's a tip, focus on what's your specialty. We are continuous learners, curiosity wins. It's always been as a creative, I think, curiosity wins. If you were a good designer like 5 years ago, you were probably one of the first guys working with tokens and really could show any big company how to set up a design system. It's gonna be the same, the same curiosity or the same curious designers are already using AI tools. And probably being the first movers again. So it's nothing new, but it's a nice reminder to continue to learn, of course. And also a very interesting movement or shift is the blurry lines and the blurry roles. Definitely in my field between developers and designers, even UX designers or service designers, with all the new tools that are available for us today. For me, just speaking out of my own experience, without any coding experience, I was able to build my own app in 15, 14 days with a working backend, with everything fancy, cool stuff. And I showed it to the developers. They're like, oh, AI, it's far from my bed show. They're like, oh shit, you have no coding experience and you built this in 14 days in the evening just with cursor and with some cool other tools. They are getting very shaky and awake, like, okay, this is getting very close now. A few months ago it wasn't, but that's a really interesting shift, like, okay, we are blurring roles. I can now talk on a completely different level than 3 months ago with developers, really talk about, I had this conversation with Stan, like, I'm now able to talk about database architecture strategy, how can we optimize reads, the fetching time, and for a lot of functional analytics or experts, it's like, oh wait, this is my experience, this is my expert thingy, like what are you doing as a designer, doing functional analysis, or what are you bringing up new strategies to optimize loading time or making my database more secure. It's like, it's weird now, but I think that's going to be the normal as designers, we're problem solvers, that we have those new possibilities or these new collaborations with your team. Very important with these new collaborations, empathy, being a human, excelling your creativity is going to be the differentiator probably, because AI will be automating stuff, things will shift, and there will be a completely different collaboration, I think, and then the soft skills will be really important, and just being empathic about this change, because for everyone it's scary, like, ooh, what's happening? It's going to be a very important skill. I can probably, can I panic? I forgot the time, but I'm probably already out of a lot of time. This is probably a slide deck where I can talk 2 hours about it, so I'm going to skip or show little things. But we already noticed, or you see articles where GitHub has an AI team, or they call them AI designers, or it was probably Airbnb, but you see fancy quotes with 88% of developers feel more productive. And we already see a shift about like, oh, now I have more time to spend on a specific project. And then it's very interesting to see for everyone doing that for yourself, to really notice like, okay, I can automate some stuff, or I can do specific stuff in my design process more quickly. What are you going to do? Where are you going to spend your extra time? Or are you going to save that on your cost or whatever and make more money? What's your reaction on this new normal, let's say? And that's an interesting thing, but I think as a team, you really have to go to look like, okay, where do we want to win time? What do we want to do with this time? Are we are in a very hard market. Are we really going to play on our pricing strategy? Or what are we going to do with this new time? Or generally, like, what are we going to do with this whole new thing? Blah, 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 EMB, Trailblazers, cool. We already... This is what I said, and it's an interesting quote. I think it's pretty wild, but Jacob Nielsen shared a quote, I'm not sure where, but it was pretty recent, but he mentioned like the UX professionals are going to explode, and he's speaking about 100 million of people by 2050, and I understand where it comes from, because it means with the tools that are available today, I truly believe that the baker, the bakery at the corner of the street, if he needs a dashboard to track his stock, for instance, today it is possible to just prompt in a natural language, like, I want a dashboard to track all my stuff, this is my database, or set up a database, and he can do that over a weekend time. So what does that mean? That the baker is possible to become a UX guy or come in contact with product design more rapidly. And then of course, if you see like all these UX professionals, whatever, they get in touch, yes, you can get up to 100 million really fast. And I think that's going to be the normal in like 5 years, where the neighbor is prompting their own digital products. And then what does that mean for us as a professional, of course? Cool. New gen tech experts, so we all are familiar with it. Let's talk about the fun stuff, like let's talk about tools. We have like 15 minutes, let's nerd about stuff that I love to use, or just if you've never heard about it, just get a little idea of what's happening in this AI landscape. There are a lot of new tools, and I think it starts with the low-code and no-code platforms. Like 1 year, 2 years ago, maybe everyone heard of Webflow and Framer today, very popular. But it was the first time where we were like, as a designer with no coding experience, we came in contact. We're like, oh wait, I can design something in Figma. I have a plugin that can translate my design to Framer, and I can change small stuff, but I see exactly how my design looks like, and I can hit publish, and it's online. Whoa, mind blowing. And that for only $5, I think, to host it. But you see today, for me, if I talk with designers today and they mention this process, I slap them in the face, because I would say, just start in Framer, by the way. Just do your design in Framer and hit on publish, please. You win so much more time, and it's very capable of doing that. But that's the new normal, I think. I hear a lot of, even in Antwerp, there are more and more small agencies designing in Webflow and using Framer for their customers as well. Not the WordPress of Craft CMS, all those heavy sites. You can now create really cool stuff with no coding experience and do stuff in Framer. This is enabling product creation with minimal coding skills, so that's a big shift. And like, oh, what's going on? What's going to happen with more of these tools? But that was like a first sign. Okay, low code, no code. And then it moved into the more nerdy stuff, the Flutters and whatever, really building mobile apps with no code. And then you start to lose a lot of people like, nah, that's not possible, but it is. And then we see like we can deliver great impact with less manual effort. Cool. Now, spoiler alert, I try to be a nerd and track it and follow the industry, but literally every week there are 5 new tools that are even better than last week to prompt your dashboards, prompt your apps, more secure, instant, deployed, all those fancy development language words. So that's very interesting. just be aware of that, like what's going to happen. So we have Webflow, we have Framer, cool, we talked about that. It's exactly, you see what you get, you hit on publish. As a designer, you don't have to worry about code. In the beginning of Framer, it was like, ooh, you could scale it or leverage Framer if you knew a little bit of code, but today there are so many plugins that it's not really necessary anymore, so you can do a lot of cool stuff. For the small freelancer starting out for your own website, literally you have a really cool website for €5 each month, and if you want to go a little bit crazy, it's €20. It's absolutely crazy, that's so cheap. Then we can talk about models. We have the cloud with the ChatGPTs, we have the Copilots, you name it. What can I say about? You probably already use some of these, and then it gets really interesting when you start to use it for the right tools, for the right intent. We all started with ChatGPT probably. Like, for instance, how I still use ChatGPT today. It's for the silly things. I crashed my bike 2 weeks ago in Spain. Well, I asked them, okay, I crashed, I have 5 minutes, I don't know Spanish, please translate, but give me a bucket list of what I need at the apothecary thingy. How do I clean my wounds, whatever. It's not Google anymore, and I think a lot of people here in the room who are still using Google if you have a question. Or who use ChatGPT or any other tool if you have an issue and you're like, fuck, how do I cook a spaghetti bolognese? Do you go to Google or do you use ChatGPT, for instance? I think the shift is happening. I see it with my girlfriend that's doing it, and for me that's a big alert, like, okay, we're at that stage. She's it's going mainstream. But there are cool models, and I think most people here understand this, but then we come into the more nerdy vibe coding side of AI, and then we talk about Cursor, probably the most common or most known popular tool. And this is an integrated development environment. Who knows about Cursor? Just to get like a feel, okay, like 50-50, so it's not completely new. But for those that don't know what it is, there's a nice screenshot. Are there any developers here as well? Like 2, 3 people? Okay, cool. Sorry to bore you. But this is their job. They work in fucking code, all lines of code. That's that's all they see probably, and they think and they dream about this. We see pixels, colors, cool stuff. But now you have a cursor. You have like a nice integrated plugin, a chat box, where I, without any experience in code, can just describe like what exactly my page or a function needs to do. Of course, after a while, you learn more what it should be doing. You learn about what this code means, but you can just type, describe what you need, and it will show you the code. You implement it. Cool. That was the first, like, whoa, really cool stuff. And for me, basically, I designed something in Figma. I dropped it in the correct the cloud of ChatGPT, whatever. I asked them to make a function analysis, whatever, do all the documents. You get a nice structured file that you can attach for context and then describe, okay, let's build an app now, let's do it in React, what database, how do we structure the database, which one should I set up, whatever. You ask everything in the chat box and it will help you, and it's like a cool game, or this is how I approach this whole thing. So like a little game, and it's a quest with steps and step-by-step stuff, and you do it. And this was for me an eye-opener, no coding experience, and I knew exactly what to do. And you could easily see or apply the new code, all cool. But what's really interesting today, you can use Cursor today and have, now we get really nerdy, but the MPC stuff. Voila, the MCP explained. These are protocols. What you see in the image, we had our cloud or ChatGPT, our models that we love to talk with. And then the frustration was, yeah, how can I get them to my Figma? How can I activate it in my tools? Well, today, every day there are new, let's say, bridges, new MCPs, new protocols written. So now what is possible today, you can actually get connected, or connect your Figma, your desired tools. But what happens today, do you have a screenshot, whatever? It looks exactly like this. You see Figma, you see your cursor, you can describe what you want, but if you have it bridged or linked with your Figma design system, in theory, you can actually ask them like, okay, I need the sales flow for this, pull up, user design system, whatever. You make sure you prompt it well, and you see it in action, and you see your cursor, and it starts designing for you. For me, that's very interesting and mind-blowing, like, okay, cool. And this is just thinking about, okay, how can I link Figma and my cursor, and then the correct model, the clouds, Sonebo, for instance, or whatever works best. But then I'm already thinking, okay, can I link this with data from customers? Can I link this with interesting database to go super hyper UX vibe with my flow? How can I make sales flow exactly match different personas that I mapped in the database? And then we're talking very nerdy and interesting flows, because in 5 minutes, it's in theory possible that I have like 20, 30 sales flows that I can easily prototype, that I can share, that I can push to developers. And why would I even push it in developers if I'm a cursor? I can ask them to make the code and just make it for me. And then we are in the next level where I'm getting really excited about, like, oh shit, I can be in control. And okay, maybe other people can be in control. Why do we need so many big teams? We can get a lot leaner. And then it opens, of course, the discussion, what are we going to do with this new tool? What's the role of the designer? What's the role of the developer? Things will change if I look at this, but this excites me very much. And I think that's mind-blowing. I'm not sure, is this mind-blowing for other people as well? Just the idea that an AI can really feed your Figma file, understands the context, and that you can just plug in all the data from your user. And okay. Anyway, that's I think that's super cool. It comes really close, but this is design-wise. But there's also Manus as 2 weeks ago, but just an example. I think it's still in private. But the idea that you will be able to talk with different agents, and that you're just a one-guy agency with like 10 agents, AI agents, that can do the sales for you, that you can do the DevOps for you. Just imagine the impact, how many 1 or 2 guy agencies we will be battling with our clients. I think that's going to be mad, and it's already happening. And that we're just not aware yet, because I wouldn't scream on top of the lungs if I was a one-man guy doing a lot of shit. Well, I'm doing this talk anyway, but I'm not doing it, but I'm sure, and I know some guys that are doing it, and it's mind-blowing. I find it super cool. Then there is also, and then I'm speaking, there are tools, 5 new tools every week. It's on all levels in our product design environment. We can talk about customer interactions, customer service. There are specific AI tool agents just tailored to like, okay, how can we instruct the perfect AI agents that can completely manage everything customer service, all these sales issues. If you're like online shop, what if I can just send an AI agent that can cover all these things? It already exists, and that's super cool on that level. But also, if you're more into DevOps and sales, there are automated platforms that really focus in 8N, where you can see super easy, like you can drag and drop, like, okay, I want to automate a specific workflow. I don't longer want to open my email, read it, put actions on it, whatever. I want to make a flow where AI can read my emails, can see if this is a sales email or not, that can make automatically interpretations of it, suggest maybe immediately concepts or ideas of solutions, whatever, and why not, let's automatically reply as well. You can come up with these crazy automated flows just by drag and dropping, and just make sure like, here is my OpenAI key, plug it here, I need this key there, poof, and it works. I think for me personally, that's super cool. Definitely for the sales guys here, you can automate a lot today. And I think today, the people using this, winning so much time, setting up the cool auto flow, the workflows, I think is super cool. And it's possible, and it's free. It's all about experimenting with it. Of course, we will start to panic. Let's see if I missed some cool stuff. Just if you want to start somewhere, and if you want to play with a platform just to see how it works, there are like 4 or 5 interesting platforms. Versal, Lovable, Replit, Bolt. if you are still very loyal or close to your Figma, maybe Bolt is a very interesting one because you can import your context, your Figma file here, and then prompt what you want to do with your Figma file or what it needs to be doing. Is it basically like I designed something here in my Figma, I want to make it or turn it into a prototype. You prompt it and ask it, but maybe you want to simulate a user test, or you want to simulate your accessibility test, whatever. Yeah, these are already fantastic things to do with it. You should play with this and see yourself, like, how does this work? And what's interesting, and most of these platforms, they have the models integrated, so you don't need a subscription to cloud, or you don't need a subscription to whatever model you desire. Most of the time they have already integrated, and it's interesting, just play with it, see what it does for yourself, what you want to do with it. But Bolt is a good one to play with. Replit as well, but Lovable is moving really fast as well. Same vibe, always the classic prompt chatbot thingy, but you can literally share, screenshot, just try it yourself and go wild and really ask, like, very detailed. I want a dashboard, this dashboard should go very nerdy into detail, and you will notice, like, oh, okay, it really lists or it understands what I need. And with Lovable, what it will do, it will build it, you will see the thing live, and then you can like a text edit, what was exciting, oh, I can change text live. You can start changing stuff in the interface as well, like you're working in Figma that we're very familiar with. You can change stuff in Lovable, and again, a tool that is constantly updating every week, so that's a nice one to start and play with as well. Versal, the same. These also have, because everyone is asking for an AI chatbot today, so they have it so well done that if you need an AI chatbot, you want your own AI chatbot for your own little agency or whatever, for a client or for a specific project, you can just prompt it, and before you know, you have your own little interface, your own little ChatGPT customized in your tool. And then if you're a nerd, you start to do it and make your own Figma plugins, because why not? Back in the day, you would always search, like, the community, are there plugins? Ah, there's no plugin. I think it already happens with me. It's like, I'm not like, there's no plugin. Okay, make me a plugin, I need this and this and this. What do I need? How do I set this up? You know how to prompt these things, and you start building it. And I think, I'm mumbling it because I find it very interesting. But things that I also see at POW, there are some researchers, UX researchers. They want to spend all their time on the research with the customer. They want to do the interviews. They're very academic people, and they lose their shit if they know, like, it's that time, after 3 months, it's time to test. I have to build a prototype. Now I need a week to spend time to build a prototype and test it. And also, I sit on so much information. What do I do? Right now, with these UX researchers, what I share with them or what I try to help them is like, okay, you do a lot of research, you're a very clever guy, let's just prompt and make a custom dashboard where you can invite your stakeholders in and just share your stuff, but not in the classic Google Drive. No, just make it custom, make it in the color of the client, just make your digital product itself like a little dashboard. It's all possible. The client is like, what the fuck did you just build? Is it like custom dashboard? Yes, it is, but it's easier than you think, and it adds to the experience of how expert level you are. It doesn't take that much time. But you can have also the dashboard you create with all the insights. There will also be your live prototype, your tools, and it's all just by clever prompting. It's not 5 days of designing in Figma. It's a clever prompt. You set things up, and you move pretty fast with it. And that's just very interesting to see where these UX research, how can we make it even more valuable when the research reach the right people or with the decision makers to make things happen. Prototyping, Polymet, the same. So these are the type of players. Replits are one of those early movers, and now we've got Bolt, Polymet. You constantly see different platforms with niche solutions, and these are all dashboard specific use cases like low fee prototypes, whatever, but they're all basically the same. They have a design system and you can build cool stuff just by prompting. Let's see, I'm very chaotic, yeah? maybe you're panicking, and I played with the word panic and I added the AI. So it's panic. Anyway, it's okay. You can breathe in, it's perfectly fine. Wait. I think what's important, there's like an opinion slide. Things are changing rapidly. I think it's really important in where you work that you create or that you're aware that we need also a shift in culture. I feel, that's my personal experience, that a lot of people are keeping a lot of information for themselves. A lot of designers are playing with these tools, but they keep it for themselves because sometimes it's like a head start or it's an edge they have on their competitors or whatever. If you really want to embrace this new change, or if you want to excel at these things, I think we need a culture shift as well. And maybe here in Flanders, it's not our strongest suit, but have this open conversation like, hey, what are you doing and how are you solving this? And getting our heads together and really push that curiosity and have those sharp, ooh, what's happening in the landscape? Because I see a lot of people like turning away or being very like private about these things, and I hope definitely in the design communities that we have a very open, or at least this is my side as well, just sharing your experience and hopefully help each other. Like, okay, cool, this is heading at us. Like, how do we adapt? How do we get ready for this? What's the possible impact? Let's see if it's interesting. I think the biggest change, or what I'm not sure what the time is, by the way, because I can. Just, can I continue? Because I can continue. At a very high level, 2015, very linear design area. What does that mean? I was a designer, I was waiting for my briefing, and back in the day it was literally waiting my email like, oh, there's my briefing, what do I need to do? Okay, I can make 2 screens, whatever, follow the guidelines. And then when I was ready, I could go to the UX designer or whatever, the developer. It was very linear. Hands off after hands off. Then we moved into a system design driven era where there are more the reusable components. We see the first no-code adoption. COVID happened, so we started to work remotely. We start to collaborate on a different level. For me in Figma, poof, we saw cursors and people were in the same file and oh my god. So that had a huge impact. Now we are 2025. We already see AI integration, and for now, most of it is like research level, or you do your deep research, or you do some analysis, and it's very text-based. But we already noticed there's a slowly move to hybrid workflows, and then we are heading straight in the intelligence, personalized future with data enabled, with all the stuff we don't understand today, but that we will be able to use and understand with AI tools. And also a huge shift with the teams and with who we work. It's going to have a huge impact as well. But the key there is more collaboration, I think. AI is not going to push us away. It's going to bring us even closer and really make sure that the human aspect of design, and we're all into product solving. We're not just robots today and solving stuff. It's in the nuances, and it's collaboration heavy. So that's some evolution I see, a lot of text, blah, blah, blah. Opinion, very important. I don't think we're not replaceable by AI. It will only make us stronger because we can now even better explore ideas. We can understand more stuff. Back in the day, I'm not the cleverest or the smartest guy, but now I have my tools and I can simply ask, okay, my boss shared a fancy document, I don't understand, now please rewrite it so I understand it with my leesniveau 2. And these things are helping me understand new things. So cool, so don't be afraid of losing your job or losing stuff, it's just gonna change. What does it mean for my team? Already changed it. I already mentioned it, sorry. It's going to be, you already see it, I think. 5 years ago, we were in UX UI team. Today, you sit in the payment team or you sit in the whatever sales team. It's going to be product focused rather than departments. We're going to foster shared ownership, which is really cool. Not sure if everyone is ready for shared ownership, but it will happen, I think. Where you have your responsibility, you are in your team as a designer, you're working with other clever people, like you have to own your shit. You can't hide behind the design lead maybe. That's gonna change, I think. We will be focused more on outcome. So we will be really focused on, okay, what's the impact here? We need to make impact, and that makes that we will be, or we have to be more aligned than ever. And we can also, with the clever AI, we will understand and we will be able to use the data, and we will be able to leverage the UX metrics and understand all of that. And you already see that the conversations, or I see it already, where 5 years ago, nobody asked me as a designer, what's the return of investment of your job? Nobody ever asked me that as a designer. It's like, okay, Bram, you've worked on the mobile banking app. Now what's the impact? How much, you've cost us so much money. How did you make money? That was never the discussion. While now almost every conversation I have with the hiring guy on the design level is asking, okay, we're gonna put 2 designers on a project for 3 months. It cost us 100K. How are we gonna make the 100K back? Like, what's the plan here? What's the strategy? How are we? What's the return of investment here? And that's a cool shift that's coming to us with the tight markets, and I think this will help as well. AI team, I'm not sure if this is interesting, it's late already. Best practices, AI playbooks, human oversight, blah, blah, blah. I think I'm tired as well, so I'm not sure if I want to go. And then, of course, what would I do if I ran an agency? Gonna skip that because that's way too interesting. I need to be a fresh mind. But if I want to share something, nope. Is it this one? No? Whatever. What I really, I think a shift is going to happen in the way we work with clients. It's all project-based, and we have like a tight budget, specific stuff. We definitely need a shift, and it's going to happen towards partnerships and subscription-based stuff with small agencies or consultants like me, where you will want to work not for 3 months or for 6 months with Bram. No, I want a subscription. I want to have access to you for a longer period of time. It's going to change. The relationship's going to change. And I think as a freelancer, you have to be aware, like, okay, wait, the offering is changing. What am I going to change? How am I doing this? Or whatever, my brains are like, I hope it was a little bit of interesting thingy, what's happening, or that you get a glimpse of what's happening in the design landscape with AI. Embrace it. It's never going to change. It starts with the why, how Simon Sinek says. I think that's the most important. That's never going to change. As a designer, it's still like, why are we doing this? And it doesn't matter what tool you will use. Voila, maybe a nice plug before we end. Whatever, are you vibe coding? I'm not your AI expert, but I love to help you. Just reach out. I love to talk about it. My name is Bram, voila. And I will love to help you with AI integrations, whatever. Gracias. Voilà.